They look really good.
Yeah, I just slowly did that.
Raised it. I didn't even notice.
Yeah, they look really good, the banners.
Okay. Good.
Like at the end of the year, this guy. We have like 2 hours to come up with a design and get.
Man, I am
I
tired.
saw that they were posted on social
I've
media.
been working since like 7
It was
and
like
just got
so positive.
Did you really?
I just came here. I was on
Yeah.
vacation last week, and now we have other people on
No,
vacation.
it looks really good.
Where'd you go?
Picking up. Well, I did a park staycation and then also a New World. Both. For the last 2 weeks, I've been
Yeah.
basically off work, so it's been nice.
New Orleans. It's a good place.
Everyone said I would hate it because it's so.
Well, you know why? Because
I mean, there's a way.
Okay, it's 6:30, and we'll call to order the June 1st City Council meeting. Would you call the roll, please?
Kathy Griffith, Sid Porter,
Here.
Melissa Hunt,
here.
Louis Williams, Adam Webb,
Here.
Rob Clark,
Here.
Mark Ham.
Here. Would you please stand for a pledge of allegiance?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item 2 is our consent docket.
Make a motion to approve items A through G on the consent docket.
Second?
A motion and a second. Would you call the vote?
Sid Porter,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
Adam Webb,
Yes.
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes. Item 3 is consider approval of the fiscal year 2026-2027 annual budget and adopt resolution number 13626.
Mayor and council, we've had the individual budget meetings, and we had our public meeting with the last council meeting. No one came or answered any questions. So the proposed budget for fiscal year 27 totals $145,060,817. Recommend approval.
Make a motion to approve.
Second?
Okay, a motion and a second. You can call the vote.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
Adam Webb,
Yes.
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Sid Porter,
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes. Item passes. And as always, thanks, Brooks, and to all of your team. And the budget is relatively flat this year, correct? There's not much of an increase. We're just being,
No, the main sources of revenue, sales and use tax are relatively flat from this fiscal year. Some other adjustments have been made within, but it's, we're not expecting any real increase in our revenue.
and do you know when we'll be able to post this on our website?
Probably within the next couple of days.
Okay,
if
so
not
just-
sooner, so.
If anybody's
Yeah, yeah.
interested, you can go there and look at the Moore City budget and just read away. And there's a lot of interesting stuff there. And also, will we have some print copies available for the?
Yes, we're in the process of getting the pictures done, and I've
All
got to
right.
do the annual letter and things like that, so we'll get all that done.
All right, great. Thank you. Item 4 is receive a presentation and public comments on the issues identification summary that will guide the scope of work for the Land Development Code Update Project.
Mayor and council, the city of Moore has contracted with White Smith Casino, WSC, as a consulting firm to update the Moore Land Development Code, and more specifically, just the zoning and subdivision regulations of that code. Between October 2025 and February of 2026, city staff and representatives from WSC met with 7 separate stakeholder groups to discuss the current zoning and subdivision regulations and their associated development outcomes. In your packet, you have the issues identification summary. This is just a summary of all of the, issues that were identified with our code. And here with us via Zoom is Caitlin Cameron from WSC. She will be giving a very brief overview of the issues identification summary. The remainder of our time will be spent listening to you and the public if there are any other issues with development that need to be addressed in the Land Development Code update. This will be our final call for this type of input before they start to actually get into the work of doing the update. And then we'll have a couple of other targeted meetings during the process to inform the citizens and receive additional feedback. So I'm going to turn it over to Caitlin. She's with us via Zoom.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes. All right. I'll get started then. Thank you for your time this evening. My name is Caitlin Cameron, and with me is also Mark White. We're from White Smith Cousineau, leading this project, and HAF is also on our team. They will be helping us as we get into the drafting of the code updates. And this really is a focus on the land development code, this project. We're looking at specific and targeted updates to bring the code, the regulations in alignment with your policy documents, your comprehensive plan, your Old Town revision plan, revitalization plan, things like that. So that's the focus of this project. And the point where we are right now is our issues identification summary, and that the things that have gone into this include document review of all your existing codes, your vision documents. We also spent a lot of time talking to staff and decision makers, and we also held I believe it was 4 focus groups with professionals in design and development sectors, trying to narrow down and identify the parts of the code that need work or a second look or updating. So these are the topic areas, these 9 topic areas within the code that we, the sort of buckets that we are putting these issues into. So I will just quickly highlight what some of these are. Hopefully you had a chance to look at the more exhaustive issues ID list that was in the packet. So in Old Town, certainly we heard and understood that things haven't yet really developed in the way the revitalization plan envisions. So looking at how the land development code, making sure there are no barriers there, and how we can use the code to encourage or require some enhancements, whether it's the building design, some of the uses and building scale that can happen there, landscaping, things like that, but also keeping a balance of not having requirements that are too demanding that can't be maintained in the future as well. So there's a balance there. With housing, we heard that there's some market trends, some housing types that have emerged in the last few years, few decade of like ADUs, multifamily housing. And we want to look at which zones, what part of town it might make sense for some of those uses to be happening, to just continue to provide opportunity for housing to be built, and just examine where it makes sense for some of these types to happen. When it comes to open space, we heard and understood that more is landlocked. There's a limited amount of new greenfield for development, but more has done a good job of building park space and open space. So private development really can be looking for ways to connect to those existing areas. And also we want to look at how amenity space in these private developments, how to make them true amenities and truly functional and beneficial open spaces. This also overlaps somewhat with stormwater and landscape, and making sure those standards and requirements are all coordinated and working together, not competing with each other, making it difficult to have all those components fit on a site. When it comes to zoning, we are really, we're going to look at how to move some kinds of projects away from discretionary review, meaning like planned unit developments, variances, trying to reduce the number of those requests, and find ways to streamline, standardize certain kinds of projects or certain types of uses. We also heard there, a few things within commercial and industrial zones that need a look, in terms of, sometimes encroachment into residential areas, or not clear use definitions or use standards. So that's another aspect we'll be looking at. When it comes to residential zoning, as I mentioned earlier, taking again a look at densities, building sizes, lot sizes. Are they the right sizes in the right places? Front yard setbacks, sometimes it's difficult to fit all the things we need to in these developments. So that's on the list here. I mentioned uses, making sure we have clear use definitions and standards, and I think the mini storage is a great example of this. Most of these have had to go through a discretionary review process. How can we streamline that, make clear standards, clear requirements for where those can happen, and streamline how those kinds of applications can happen. We also will be looking at the development standards, so like the site plan, the landscape, these kinds of things. But again, requiring things where they make sense, requiring high levels of landscaping and screening between certain kinds of uses where it makes sense, not necessarily in industrial areas or things like this. And standardizing things. We also heard it might make sense in certain parts of town, in certain corridors, to have specific standards, a specific kind of character or scale in certain places might be an appropriate way to go, and tailor standards for those areas. Landscape and screening, I've already kind of touched on this. So we also heard from a couple of folks the desire to create consistency on how developments meet the street, the perimeter design, having some standards around screening and landscaping there. Materials is another thing that came up. So this is what we mean when we're talking about screening, landscaping, perimeter design. And building design standards, we did hear a desire to continue to have some level of building design standards around materiality and keeping the character of more, but again, being reasonable in terms of what is financially feasible, and what continues to keep the character but not start to have projects become cost prohibitive. We also heard about parking, especially in residential and subdivision areas. Overflow parking into streets can begin to affect safety, emergency access, things like that. So that sort of relates to the zoning dimensional standards and the subdivision design, making sure the lots and the street design and all of that are the right sizes, the right standards are in place to prevent some of this overflow from happening, or requiring some more overflow parking in some of these cases. Subdivisions, we want to bring clarity to amenities, what we expect from amenities. We have examples of other communities where we provide a menu of options, where we say these are the kinds of things you can provide, and let the developer choose depending on their particular development. So that's something we'll look at, how to get more, give more guidance on how to provide those kind of amenities. The streets for subdivision, and not only the overflow parking issue that I mentioned, but also are there opportunities for traffic calming measures, make sure we're coordinating street trees, utilities, mailboxes, all these different elements that need to have a place, making sure the lot sizes and the site and subdivision standards can reasonably accommodate these elements. And then finally, we had a few comments, few ideas around approval procedures. Really, the focus is going to be on finding those ways to streamline, as I mentioned, and shift some projects out of discretionary review where that makes sense. We also heard a little bit about phase projects, really large projects that come in phases, and how do we manage expectations around that, you know, when changes need to happen, or if the economics change, how do we allow some flexibility for that to happen, but also maintain the standards and expectations that the project was originally approved with. So we are interested in your thoughts on anything we might have left out of that issues identification list that was in your packet, because this really is going to be sort of our scope moving forward in terms of what we take on in the update. Also open to any of your questions. And I heard that there might be some interest in discussing pure cities. So we have begun to identify 5 to 10 pure cities that we would look to compare, you know, how they handled certain aspects of similar things that Moore is facing, whether it's downtown revitalization or stormwater management, in terms of site design of stormwater management, landscape, building design, things like that. So we are very interested. We have some idea of some pure cities to look to, but we're also interested in any of your suggestions of cities that are, you know, kind of similar situations, similar size, that you think are good examples of something in particular, subdivision design, downtown. We're happy to hear those things. I'll stop there, and I'll stop sharing as well for now and see if there are any questions or discussion.
I would just have a comment, and council, as you just heard her say, that, you know, looking and interested in peer cities. So if you know of any cities that are similar to Moore in our population and size, you know, either submit those to Elizabeth or to Brooks, and we can look at them. As you've been out traveling or going around, we want to hear from you, so we can maybe have some ideas of what our community could look like if these things were to become implemented over time. And then just a question that I have, you know, we are, of course, you know, we don't have an NBA team, and we don't have the SEC athletics as they do down in Norman. So do you believe that if we begin to implement these changes, I mean, what's realistic? What could happen in our old town if just by implementing different ordinances and so forth to help us? Again, we're not going to be able to compete with the NBA, but what are some things? And I have read through this, and one of the sentences that stood out to me was the fact that Old Town hasn't reached its full potential, and I think there's just a lot of opportunity here. So what are you seeing as you guys have been looking at this that we could do?
I'll start to answer that, and if Mark has some comments, I'll let him chime in after. I think certainly it's important to mention that the Land Development Code can't do it all, right? It's one piece of the puzzle, but certainly making sure there's reasonable opportunity for mixed-use development and denser residential development, having and infill development in those older neighborhoods as those start to turn over and have some redevelopment or infill. Just more people closer to downtown can be a really powerful factor to all of this. Also, moving the streetscapes towards desirable environments in terms of street trees, plantings, public art. There are different strategies that cities have taken with that. There are other things that can happen or do happen that are not so much land development code, you know, in terms of economic development incentives or events, festivals, things of that nature. But really, I think where zoning and site plan requirements can come in is moving towards a built environment that you envision that creates spaces that people want to be in or come to. So that's a part of the puzzle.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Anyone else have any questions or comments?
Now, I am a big fan, with the housing crisis and housing costs, of making smaller lots, having that available. The ADUs, I know Oklahoma City went through a lot of work to get that passed, and so I would love to see that. And also, making it so that we're not so reliant on PUDs is a great thing.
I had a question on the, and this was in relation to the commercial zoning. And the C6, and you made there's a comment in there, as it currently exists, is not working well because it's a catch-all. And you're talking about amending the zone. What would your recommendation be?
I don't have a recommendation yet. I'm sure Elizabeth has some ideas about what direction she would like to go. That's one of our next steps, is after we meet with you all this evening, we're going to start making more concrete recommendations. So I don't have a very specific answer for you right now.
I'm jumping the gun.
But if you
Sorry.
have ideas or suggestions, now would be a great time to mention them.
Thank you.
I know a lot of things, obviously money's going to be the final decider on a lot of stuff, but on the updates on the zoning subdivisions, when you're going through this, are we looking at trying to fix that to where companies, corporations, or whatever outside want to come in because, hey, that's zoned this way or this subdivision's that way? Are we looking at that to do all this work, and then there's people looking at this already, or are we just kind of go for it and see what happens?
Well, I don't know from Deidre and like the economic development folks. I don't know what they're doing in that arena in terms of like courting big employers and developers or corporations. Certainly that's a strategy that some of the peer cities we're looking at have taken, where they part of their success has been to have a corporate campus or business park area, or they're a hub for a certain company as an employer, or in some cases they'll have anchor, like their downtown will have anchor stores. So that can be an option. I actually, I guess I would look for direction from you all on if that's part of your vision for more, is to attract more corporations, then that's certainly a part of the possibility with this. Yeah, having it be friendly towards those kinds of developments where it makes sense.
And I would add that zoning regulations don't address like who's doing the use or who's doing the development. It's more what the development looks like and what the use is, regardless of who. And if I understood your question correctly, I think Caitlin's right. If you want to attract like a certain industry or a certain business, that's more of an economic development incentive issue than a zoning issue. The zoning issue would just say what uses are allowed, what design standards apply, what dimensional standards, your setbacks, your building heights, et cetera, apply. And so one thing we usually like to encourage, in getting back to the Old Town question earlier, is not just that on larger sites, but incremental development on smaller sites that makes sense in a walkable environment like Old Town. And certainly that's what you're your future land use policies call for. So making sure that setbacks are correct for Old Town and that they work well for other parts of the city where you have a more suburban development pattern, and the community wants to continue that. So we're looking at both of those things in context throughout the city, if that makes sense.
Thank you.
All right, anyone else, council? Okay, thank you. And again, I would just emphasize the potential that we have just right here in Old Town, and maybe just the fact that it is so limited to what can we do to really make this even more desirable for people to want to come and live right here. And then when you have people here, they're going to shop, they're going to go out and walk around and get a haircut or a cup of coffee, or just sit at the gazebo and talk with their friends and neighbors. So lots of unique opportunities right here, and hopefully this will help us as we develop that. So thank you.
Thank you.
Elizabeth, anything else from them?
Yeah, so we did put this out to the public, if they had any comments to come. So, if there was anybody from the public who is here tonight, we'd be happy to field their comments or questions as well.
Is there anyone here that would like to speak to this and have suggestions or ideas? This would be your opportunity. I'm not seeing or hearing any. Okay, yeah, you'll just need to come up here, please. And then just tell us your name and address.
Yeah, hi everybody. Jeremy Martin, 3418 Southeast 31st Place. Look, just coming into this, right? But
Yeah.
one of the things we're talking about, was talking about Old Town, and we're also talking about housing and density and things like that. The area in Norman around downtown where they're adding 2 or 3 story living spaces. Again, somebody's got to want to build it, but it'd be cool if they could.
Yeah.
If we're looking at walkability and people down here and developing, something like that may be better for us as opposed to more single family homes. But what do I know, man? I just live here, so
I 100% agree.
Yeah.
Some mixed use and all that, like they're doing down there.
yeah.
Great.
So and again, zoning, I don't know if it makes it work, but that's an idea.
All right.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Yes,
it.
Thank you. And if there's anybody watching or in the audience and you have comments, please send them to us. Or if you have some ideas of some cities we could look at, let us know. We're ready? Okay.
Thank you.
Well, do we want to say goodbye to
Thank
those
you.
people or just hang up on them?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, and that was just information. There's no action that needs to be
That's correct.
taken off of that? Okay. Item 5 is consider rezoning application number RZ-1057 located in the northeast quarter of Section 16, Township 10 North, Range 3 West, being south of Northwest 12th Street and west of Santa Fe Avenue from R3 PUD General Residential District Planned Unit Development and C3 General Commercial District to R3 PUD General Residential District Planned Unit Development for a senior multifamily residential development and approve ordinance number 5326. This application is by Cody Pogue, C2 Development, and the Planning Commission recommended approval 9-0, and this is in Ward 2.
Mayor and council, this site is located south of Northwest 12th Street and east of North Robinson Avenue. The property is 2 lots that equal together 2 acres in size. Tract A is currently zoned R3 as a PUD for multifamily housing that was never developed. Tract B is currently zoned C3 and it is vacant. The applicant is proposing to rezone both tracts to R3 PUD for a 28-unit senior multifamily community with 12 2-bedroom units and 16 1-bedroom units. The public water and sewer are available to serve this site. Access is provided by North Robinson Avenue, and that is a collector street that connects to Northwest 12th Street. Stormwater detention for this development is required. The applicant is utilizing a planned unit development to achieve higher densities of 14 units an acre. By utilizing a PUD, the city may relax certain density requirements in exchange for amenities that would not otherwise be required. This PUD includes the following amenities: 4 above-ground storm shelters, 75% masonry, brick, rock, or stone requirement for all the buildings, green space with a 5-foot wide walking trail that loops the property, dumpster enclosure of masonry construction, and increased open space at 49% of the total land area with 26 trees and 35 shrubs. It should be noted that if this is approved, the proposed PUD will reduce a platted 50-foot front yard setback to a 30-foot front yard setback. Additionally, the applicant will combine the 2 lots into 1 lot, bringing both of the properties under one ownership. The Envision More 2040 plan calls for this location to be community commercial. Community commercial land uses are characterized by medium intensity commercial, which include retail, office, and service uses, but they may contain up to 50% of supporting residential uses. This application was reviewed as to its conformance with the plan. And based on the proposed amenities within the PUD, this application does work to further many of the goals of the plan, and an amendment is not required. Due to the compatibility of the proposed development with the surrounding area and the amenities provided within the PUD, staff recommends approval of this application. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Is it 3 or 4 above?
I should have been more descriptive on that. It was originally 3, but at the Planning Commission, they did request an additional storm shelter. Each storm shelter will hold about 12 people. So this should give full occupancy coverage for the development.
Thank you.
Do you know if the detention, is that going to be part, like maybe the walking track going around it?
Well, they are actually looking at seeing if the pond in the Grace Point addition has any additional storage capacity. If it does, they will be utilizing that pond. So there won't actually be a pond on their property. If there is not enough storage capacity, they will have some smaller detention facilities on their site.
Okay.
I don't know if it's going to be like a pond with standing water. It could just be just a detention pond that's dry, but they will be worked into the site when that is determined it's necessary, if it is necessary, and the walking trail will meander around, and we'll place the landscaping where it makes sense.
Very good. Is it going to be gated?
This is not gated, no.
Okay.
Great. I'll make a motion to approve.
Second?
And just I have one more quick question. Have we looked at the intersection at 12th and Robinson with the additional traffic? Right now, there's just a stop sign for the Robinson, and 12th Street doesn't. Is that something that we've considered?
We haven't looked at that yet. My understanding is that there's just not a lot of wrecks happening there, so we don't have the history. But I am interested in looking at the traffic counts once we have all of this new development come on board to see if an additional traffic signal makes sense.
Okay. All right. We have had a motion and a second. You can call the vote, please.
Adam Webb,
Yes.
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Sid Porter,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes, item passes. Item 6 is consider approval of contracts with FCO Great Landscaping LLC, T&D Hauling LLC, Bryant's Dirt Work and Demo LLC, and Greatscapes LLC to provide code enforcement abatement services for FY 2026-27.
Mayor and council, staff is requesting the approval of these qualified contractors to perform abatement services for our code enforcement division. They have met the city's criteria for insurance, licensing, equipment, and services that they provide. And if you have any questions, I would be happy to answer them.
Okay,
I make a motion to approve.
Second?
would you call the vote?
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Sid Porter,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
Adam Webb,
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes. Item carries. Item 7 is consider authorizing the budgeted purchase of 15 traffic signal detection units with hardware in the amount of $269,475 from Wavetronics as a sole source provider.
Mayor and council members, this request is for 15 Wavetronics signal detection units that'll help us enhance the intersections by removing the old cameras and installing these radar detector units. And the staff recommends approval.
So these will, sometimes the sunlight would interfere with,
These are radar, so the sunlight doesn't affect the.
okay, great. We just
Make a
need-
motion to approve?
Okay.
Second.
Would you call the vote?
Sid Porter.
Yes.
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Rob Clark.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes, item passes. Thank you. Item 8 is consider declaring one animal transport truck as described in Exhibit A as surplus and authorized sale by auction utilizing public surplus under Sourcewell contract number 012821-TPG for online auction services.
Mayor and council members, this truck is 16 years old and has been replaced by a new one and no longer has a use for us in the city, and we recommend approval.
All right.
Make a motion to approve?
Second.
Would you call the vote, please?
Sid Porter.
Yes.
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Rob Clark.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes. Item
Thank you.
passes. Yes, sir, thank you. Item 9 is consider approval of a contract with Starstruck Drone Shows LLC for a drone show for the city's annual 4th of July celebration in the total amount of $30,000 as the lowest quote.
Mayor and council, items 9 and 10 are companion items related to this year's 4th of July celebration for the 250th Independence Day celebration. Included will be the drone show and additional fireworks for the program. Recommend approval.
This budgeted item.
It's a budgeted item.
Thanks for working on that and doing something for the 250th. So, make a motion.
It'll be wonderful.
And will it just be of the mayor
Yeah.
just waving?
Your picture's going to be up there.
Full time?
I don't know.
I like this. Okay, just need a motion in a second.
Make a motion to approve.
Second. Would you call the vote?
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Rob Clark.
Yes.
Sid Porter.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes. Item passes. Item 10 is consider approval of an amendment to the contract with Arc Pyrotechnics for the city's annual 4th of July and Christmas spectacular firework displays in the amount of $80,000.
Mayor and council, this is just adjusting the amount of the contract, adding an additional amount for the fireworks for 4th.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
I've got a quick question. Is it the same as last year, or did it go up some? What's the difference?
We added an additional 30,000, no, 15,000 for
Okay.
additional fireworks.
Okay.
But we
From
had
last
the
year.
contract, we just needed to.
And
add
we
the
did it
addition-
for the 250th celebration,
Yes.
correct?
Right.
Right. It's
Yeah,
not an every
one-off.
year thing, it's just
That's-
this year.
Yes, Mayor and council, this was done for
Yeah.
the 250th celebration, and the addition to the ARC contract is for a false finale. So we'll have the initial finale, and everyone will think that's it, and then they'll start shooting off fireworks again. So that's essentially the difference in the contract amount.
Be a good night to come out.
Surprise.
Yeah,
So, excuse me?
I said, now you just ruined the surprise.
Well,
I know, we had to put it in the, really,
I don't think that many people are watching this on.
had to get the item passed, you know?
it includes the Christmas amounts and the whole year. That's why we adjusted the amount.
So there will be an alternate ending to the fireworks. So stick around for another 30 seconds. Did we have a motion and a second yet? And we just need the vote? Okay.
Sid Porter.
Yes.
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Rob Clark.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes. Item carries. Item 11 is consider renewal of a contract with Tracy Dorman for open records custodian services to support the city attorney, legal department, and the city clerk.
Mayor and council, this is a renewal of our contract with Tracy Dorman. She's an independent contractor that we use to fulfill our open records requests. Her work helps my office tremendously, and it also helps out Vanessa in the court clerk's, or in the, not the court clerk's office, the city clerk's office. And there is no change in this contract as it was last year, so there's no changes at all. We'd recommend
Do we
approval.
get quite a few open requests?
Yes, we do.
We do?
Yes. It's not every day.
All right.
Make a motion to approve?
Second.
Would you call the vote?
Sid Porter,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
Adam Webb,
Yes.
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes. Item passes. Item 12 is consider approval of contract with Dillon and Associates to perform the city's annual audit for FY '26 in the amount not to exceed $71,500.
Mayor and Council, Dillon and Associates has performed our audit the last several years. We've been very happy with the results. They do a great job and get it out quickly. We would recommend approval.
And I would, you know, it seems like I always have something to say, but sometimes we get criticized and people say, well, maybe the city of Moore needs to be audited, but we are audited every year. And those audits are posted on our city's website, and people can go there and look and see how we did. So we just need a motion and a second.
Make a motion to approve?
Second.
Call the vote.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
Adam Webb,
Yes.
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Sid Porter,
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes. Item carries. 13 is consider approval of a contract with Crawford and Associates in the estimated amount of $70,000 for preparation of the city's annual fiscal statements for fiscal year ended June 30th, 2026, and to provide the finance department with the financial services on special projects on an as-needed basis.
Mayor and Council, we have contracted with Crawford and Associates the last several years to prepare our financial statements to be audited by Dillon and Associates, or whomever the auditor may be. They do a great job. They work for a number of cities throughout the state of Oklahoma, and they're well respected. I know a number of other cities are constantly calling Crawford and Associates for guidance to handle unique situations. So they're well respected. We have all the confidence in the world, and we'd recommend approval.
Is that an increase at all from?
Not in the rate. We've added in for any of the special projects, like what they had to work on last year.
Okay, thank you.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Would you call the vote?
Adam Webb,
Yes.
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Sid Porter,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes. Item passes. Thank you. This time, we're going to recess the city council meeting and convene the Moore Public Works Authority meeting. Item 14 is consent docket.
Make a motion to approve the consent docket items A and B.
Second.
Would you call the vote?
Sid Porter,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
Adam Webb,
Yes.
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes. Consent docket is approved. Item 15 is consider approval of the fiscal year 2026-2027 annual budget and adopt resolution number 27426.
This is just a companion item to the earlier item. Recommend approval.
Make a motion to approve?
Second.
You can call the vote.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
Adam Webb,
Yes.
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Sid Porter,
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes. Item passes. We're going to recess the Moore Public Works Authority meeting and convene a Moore Risk Management meeting. Item 16 is the consent docket.
Make a motion to approve consent docket items A and B.
Second.
You can call the vote, please.
Sid Porter,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
Adam Webb,
Yes.
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes. Consent docket is approved. Now we're going to recess the Moore Risk Management meeting and reconvene the city council meeting. All members that were present are still present. Item 17 is new business. Citizens forum from items not on the agenda. Nobody signed up. Is there anybody here that would like to speak about something? 1, 2, 3. And then item B is items from the city council trustees. I have just a couple of quick things. Brooks, could you maybe just give me an update on the policies and procedures for animal shelter? I know you guys have been working on those a while.
The final round of policy should be done by the end of this week.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, and can we have that as an item for discussion and review on our next city council meeting?
Sure.
Okay. And I was also just going to talk about the banners that we've had on Broadway, and would love to see more of them. You know, at our city park, the station, we have the hardware out there. Let's Let's put banners in them. And it may be too late to do that for this year, I don't know, but just utilizing that stuff, because it's just something that's little that makes a difference, and it does, it looks good. And anybody else? No? C, items from city trust manager.
Couple of things. I'd like to thank John Parker and his staff for all their help in putting together the budget. The budget's tough to put together, and appreciate all their hard work. And then late this afternoon, the animal shelter had gave a tour for a Leadership Oklahoma class, and
nice.
the bus pulled in, and there were 52 people that got off.
Nice.
So,
Anybody adopt a?
not that
Do we
I'm
send
aware
them home
of.
with any
I
dogs?
think that was part of the deal. You take an animal with you. That's great. And I would also, last week I went down, I don't know, Thursday maybe, and just got with Stephanie and just did a walk through the animal shelter and heard about her vision and idea and a lot of things that they're wanting to do. So council, if you get an opportunity, I just encourage you to take 30 minutes and go down there, and she'll show you around. It's exciting, the things that are happening. And item 18 is executive session. Well, okay, Section 307, Title 25 Oklahoma statutes permits the public body to meet in executive session for certain specified reasons under certain specified conditions, and it's the opinion of the city attorney that the city council may consider and adopt a motion to meet in executive session to discuss the following items. Item A is discuss, consider, and if deemed appropriate, take possible action regarding pending claim by Richard Rice of Rice Law Firm on behalf of Jeremy Bond and the estate of Rivers Bond against the city of Moore, and authorize legal counsel and staff to take action as necessary and appropriate in the interest of the city of Moore as authorized by Title 25 Oklahoma Statute 307B4. Item B, discuss, consider, and if deemed appropriate, take possible action regarding pending claim by Kelly Goodnight on behalf of Derek Mason and Roy Mason, care of Derek Mason, against the city of Moore, and authorize legal counsel and staff to take action as necessary and appropriate in the interest of the city of Moore as authorized by Title 25 Oklahoma Statute 307B4. Item C, discuss, consider, and if deemed appropriate, take possible action regarding pending claim by Kelly Goodnight on behalf of Jason Lott and the estate of Erica Lott, care of Jason Lott, against the city of Moore, and authorize legal counsel and staff to take action as necessary and appropriate in the interest of the city of Moore as authorized by Title 25 Oklahoma Statute 307B4. We're all going to know that statute. We got one more to go. Discuss the status of fiscal year 2026-2027 negotiations between the city of Moore and is that the International Association of Firefighters Local 2047 as authorized by Title 25 Oklahoma Statute 307B2.
Make a motion, we convene to executive session.
Second.
Would you call the vote?
Sid Porter,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Rob Clark.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Okay, we will convene to executive session.
Oh, I'm so sore. I went and ran 2 miles straight the other day. I thought, it's April, I think I'm gonna try running the marathon. I was gonna do that before my legs are destroyed. I was like, let's see where I'm at. Well, I'm not in a great place. That's the answer where I'm at. So I've got to get after it, man. But yeah, every time I stand up right now, I'm like, oh, I have to start running.
Okay, we are back from executive session. Again, all members are still present that were. I need a motion for item A.
Make a motion to proceed as directed.
Second. Would you call the vote?
Sid Porter,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
Adam Webb,
Yes.
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes. Need a motion for item B.
Make a motion to proceed as directed.
Second. You can call the vote.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
Adam Webb,
Yes.
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Sid Porter,
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes. And a motion for item C.
Make a motion to proceed as directed?
Second.
You can call the vote.
Adam Webb,
Yes.
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Sid Porter,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes. And item D.
Make a motion to proceed as directed.
Second?
And you can call the vote, please.
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Sid Porter,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
Adam Webb,
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes. And the next item is adjournment.
So moved.
Second?
Can you call the vote, please?
Sid Porter,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
Adam Webb,
Yes.
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes, we're adjourned. Thanks, everybody.
I have a lot more for you to say.